The FIFA World Cup is coming up and I don't have any tickets. But instead of guessing, I'm going to use Microsoft Copilot in Excel to figure out exactly which games are worth going after. I'm going to show you the features that I use so that you can apply the same techniques in your spreadsheets. My name is Shervin Shaffi and I'm a Copilot Principal Engineer at Microsoft. Now let's get started. Alright, so we're in Excel and we're using the web browser. And if you notice here on the right hand side, you'll see this Copilot icon, and that shows up when you're in this home menu. And you can also right click and you can see Copilot suggestions. So there's a couple of different ways of accessing Copilot, and when you select chat with Copilot, it does the same thing as if you actually click this icon. It opens up Copilot on the right hand side. So this is the simplest way of accessing Copilot in Excel. We got the blank spreadsheet in a web browser, and we're using the Microsoft 365 Copilot license for businesses and commercial. If we kind of quickly look at this, your navigation panel opens up the fact that you can have a new chat, any agents that you have access to, and also if you scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see all the chats that you've had. Your different chat histories shows up. You can also click on all chats to go to additional chat history. So this is the navigation panel. This is the enterprise data protection. You can click on this link. It'll talk about Microsoft privacy and security settings. And then this is your work and the web tab that you can toggle between, giving you access to your work data or not. And then this is a new chat. So if you have a chat, you can click new chat to start a new chat, and then these three dots give you more options, like this is new. You can select the model of OpenAI, either setting it to auto, quick response, or think deeper, or you can select more and go to 5.2 options of GPT, quick response or think deeper. So these are things that you can customize. Then you can go into schedule prompts, sending feedback, additional settings, or a new temporary chat. So there's a lot to kind of discover here, and take your time to kind of understand what these do. For me personally, I always just set it to auto and call it a day and go from there. But what's new that I wanted to bring your attention to is over here with these two squiggly lines. This is the tools menu. And now we have something called agent mode that we released as Frontier, but it's actually rolling out now as generally available. So you don't have to be a Frontier user. You might actually see this with not the parentheses Frontier, it just shows agent mode. And when you select it, it takes you to this other way that Copilot looks, and it says that you're in agent mode, and you know that you're in agent mode because it's giving you this icon over here. And at the moment, I just want to give you a heads up that when you're in agent mode, it does not have access to your work data, only the internet. This is going to change in the future, but at the moment, it's only able to access the internet data. So you're in agent mode, and up along the top, again, you can change the model, but this is also new. The fact that you can go between auto, GPT 5.2, which is OpenAI, or Anthropic's Claude, I don't know if it's Cloud or Claude, let's just call it Claude, Opus 4.5, all right? So you have these choices, and we can experiment with what Anthropic's model does and what OpenAI's model does. But before we even use agent mode, you might be wondering what even is agent mode. So I'm gonna go ahead and X this out, and let's figure out what is agent mode. Now I created a prompt that I'm gonna go ahead and paste in here. And this prompt is for our FIFA World Cup discovery around what actually is something worthwhile looking into for tickets. So my prompt says, look, create a spreadsheet on the upcoming FIFA World Cup. Include all the games and the matches with info such as who is playing, who the famous players are on the teams, world rank of the team, the date, the time, the location of these games, tourist info about the top 10 things to do in each city, and any other info that you think is important. I want to figure out where I should go and what tickets I should get. So I also want to know about the city. I'm using this spreadsheet to decide which games to attend. So when I give it a prompt like this and I go ahead and send this off, then in typical fashion, Copilot's going to do its research and analyze my prompt and go out to the internet. In this case, because I'm using this briefcase icon, if there's work data that I have on FIFA, which I don't, but if I did, it would also access that information. And this is the typical mode. This is not agent mode. So let's go ahead and see what it comes back with. All right, so it just finished. And again, remember, this is not using agent mode, and it took a little bit of time. You can see 329 seconds is how long it took. And it did a bunch of stuff that you can expand and look at all the reasoning and the logic. But in the end, it came back and it said, look, I created a World Cup 2026 attendance planning spreadsheet. And it says that you can download it here. And it tells me what's inside and how it helps. And it has all this information in here. Now this is cool, this is great, and I'm sure there's a ton of fantastic information. But really, I'm a little bit disappointed because if you look on the right-hand side, this whole area is empty. And that is the trick with agent mode. The thing about agent mode is that it actually does the work for you on the left-hand side. So while you might be able to go ahead and download this spreadsheet that it's telling you over here, and we can go ahead and click it and see what it is. And this is what that document is, the attachment. So it actually looks great. It has information on matches, on teams, on cities, on the sources, and even a short list. I actually wanted it to do that all in that document, in the spreadsheet that I had, instead of leaving it blank. So again, this is super cool, but it's not exactly what I was looking for. Now let's give it the exact same prompt, except this time we're going to go ahead and use agent mode. So to do that, first I'm going to start a new chat. So I'm going to select this icon, and then I'm going to go to the tools area and I'm going to select agent mode. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste in that same prompt that we used again and execute. And let's see what happens with this now. Now this is much better. I don't know if you saw, but it created everything in the spreadsheet with agent mode on the left-hand side. There is a ton of information in here and it answers all the questions that I asked it. So let's look at this together a little bit. Now remember, we're using agent mode. And at the moment I have it just set to auto, so I'm not quite sure if it used OpenAI ChatGPT 5.2 or the Claude 4.5. And you can see that there's reasoning on the right hand side that it explains how it did it. But I'm very impressed with the spreadsheet, and again, it's using all the internet data. And I also have another tab open where I cross-reference to see if these matches and schedules are correct, and they actually are correct. I don't know about 100% of them, but the ones that I looked at, they look to be accurate in terms of who's playing who. Let me close the window on the right-hand side and look at this. So it broke out the FIFA World Cup 2026 match and travel guide, and it gave me all the matches for the group stages. So you can see the time that who's playing. Mexico is playing South Africa, team 1 versus team 2, the groups that they're in, the stadium that they're in, the host city, the country, the capacity of the stadium, and some notes, right? So this is an opening match. It says historic third hosting for Estadio Azteca. And then there's Canada's first home World Cup match is the third one. Stadium has 45,000 capacity. And so it gives you all this information on the group stage. And then it goes into the knockout rounds and it tells you, you know, a lot of these are TBD, right? Because it depends on the previous outcomes, but the locations of the stadiums are known and it tells you as terms of notes. So this is information that you can use to analyze whether you want to pursue a ticket here or not. And then it goes into qualified teams, the FIFA rankings and star players. So it's basically saying, look, in Spain and Argentina, the star player here in Argentina, everybody knows Lionel Messi. And the second player, Julian Alvarez, and so on. So it gave me that information, and it's also telling me these different teams when they won. Winner in 2010, winner in 1996, gives me some notes. So some good information here. And then as we scroll further down, it's giving me information about the host cities and the top 10 tourist attractions, because if I'm going to go to New York at the MetLife Stadium with this capacity of a stadium, 82,500, what are some of the things to do? There's a Statue of Liberty, there's Times Square, Central Park, Empire State Building, and it does this as well for the AT&T Stadium, Los Angeles. It looks as Venice Beach is pretty cool, and so on. So there's the tourist attraction side that I asked it, so it provided all that for me. And then some game attendance and recommendation ideas. So the number one priority, it says, is a World Cup final, but the ticket demand is extremely high. And why would you attend? Well, it's a once in a lifetime experience to see a world championship crown. So it gives me all this great data, as well as the tournament dates. It starts in June, it goes to July, 104 matches, 48 teams, and some tips for travel booking. Now that we have all this data, let's see what else we can do. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go ahead and select new chat. And although agent mode is excellent at doing all the work for us in the spreadsheet, you can see that there's not a lot of options here, right? So there's not a lot of information. You can basically type your own prompt in here, but you'd have to know what prompt to use. So what I recommend you do instead is you get out of agent mode. You can see that there's information in here around prompts you can type in, like analyzing this workbook, how can Copilot help, summarizing the data. And if you select see more, then you get a ton more prompts that you can type in. So let's select, are there any other trends in this data? It says, yeah, there are several clear defensible trends. So it gives me all this information, but when you go all the way down to the bottom, as it finishes executing this, you'll see this section over here where you can either copy the response, you can share the response, you can open it up in a Word document, or you can add it to a new sheet. So let's go ahead and select that. And then it opens up another sheet over here. So in addition to our main one, here's another one. We can change the name of this sheet, but it put all that information in this sheet, which is a lot easier to read than reading it on that small column over here on the right hand side. That's way too difficult. Now here, maybe what we can do as we kind of wrap this up, because there's so much you can do, is we can ask it for a chart. And we can say something like, given all the data in this spreadsheet, create a chart with the 10 matches I should attend ranked in order. All right, so I gave it that prompt and it took about 43 seconds and it came back here. It says, absolutely, I used the rankings already embedded in the spreadsheet and it created this chart, which is tiny, but we can go ahead and select this plus add to new sheet and it goes ahead and puts it in here. We can go ahead and expand it. And here it is. These are the matches that I should attend. The World Cup final, extremely high, opening match, Mexico, South Africa, Argentina, Brazil. So this is basically a visual representation of the data that was already there. So in summary, we learned about what agent mode is, what things are like without agent mode, the different large language models, Claude, OpenAI, GPT-5.2, different features inside Copilot. I think Excel and Copilot in Excel has come a long way since its inception, and it's only getting better. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. If you like this video, give it a like, consider subscribing. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.